Hello everybody. In this video we will try to understand how this Saturn moving into Pisces, and also if you observe other planets, they are also almost completing the whole zodiac. So of course one of the planets, you consider Neptune, Pluto, Uranus, all these planets. Among them, the two planets are also going to complete the zodiac in 2025. Only other planet, one of the planets is left, which is in, I think, Aquarius, that would also leave, um, you know, that would also complete the whole zodiac in upcoming years. But almost all the planets, they completed the whole zodiac. Of course, another one is Saturn. Saturn is going into Pisces on this 29th March, and that is going to trigger a lot of things in the world, lot of endings, you can say. And one of the significant things I observed in recent times is these people, right? Especially you take other fields also, not only musical field, but I am observing this continuously because I am a person, to listen to the songs most of the times. For the past 2 years, I am observing they are not creating any new music at all. Instead, they are prizing the old musicians. They are trying to, prize the glory of the previous generation music directors, the veteran, music directors. The present music directors are actually, instead of creating new music, they are trying to prize or try to celebrate the glory of the previous generation's music directors. That's what I'm observing. Previously, they were not doing it. Previously, you know, they were trying to create music. The current generation, the present generation music directors, they were trying to create music. They were trying to do much more work in their field. But now, the universe, you see the Saturn moving into Pisces, it's also, you know, uh, it's transforming their minds, or it is giving a kind of feeling, a strong feeling to them, that it's something like, you know it's better we celebrate whatever happened so far. Getting it? Even in the movie industry, it's happening. It's something like we are lack of all these people, all the great people in different fields. A very less number of great people I am observing. Even previously, I live in India, and I used to take inspiration from some people. Previously, they were standing as, inspiring people for the people, for they were standing as very inspiring for the people around them. Like, you take Sachin Tendulkar. Of course, Sachin Tendulkar is still playing in some master leagues or whatever. Um, but he is not a regular player now, right? Um I'm observing. See, the other in other fields also, there are less number of people to take inspiration from. Previously, there was someone called, in India, Abdul Kalam, a very famous personality, right? And There were so many, like Lata Mangeshkar. You can take inspiration from her, and you can get inspiration from her, and Sachin Tendulkar, and even a person like Atal Bihari Vajpayee, right? There were so many people in so many fields, right? Uh, we could take inspiration from, even in the world also. There were so many people we were hearing, but now it seems like, it's something like the Saturn is coming into Pisces, and it is actually creating a kind of plane, uh, a kind of plane for everybody, that it's something like there are no more great people, kind of. Even in other departments, like, um, you take any other department. Previously there were some good people, that's what I want to tell. There were some great people, not just good people, great people who were completely dedicated to their work, to their field, and used to show some path, used to give some inspiration. You might be saying, see, in this generation there are so many uh, distractions because of the technology and all the stuff. See, was technology has been evolving, and there were so many new things that time also, right? If somebody wanted to be very addictive to the technology, that time also, even 10 years back or 20 years back also, there were so many options to get addicted. But there were they but those people were very much into their own duty, their own field. They were dedicated. Even now, the music directors, see, the music directors, if they want to dedicate themselves to music a lot, they can do it. They can take the help of the current technologies, the AI or whatever, the current trends or the current technologies. They can take the help of them, and they can do much more better. But they are in a feeling that, it's something like they're celebrating the glory of the previous generations. Previously they were doing it, previously also they were doing it some or the other time, but now they are doing a lot. They are doing it a lot. They are not creating great music at the same time. If something like, it's enough, it's done, right? And it is happening not only in this particular music field, in other fields also. The kind of the kind of efforts they are putting, they are not uh, trying to be an inspiring personality. So instead, they're just thinking that it's done, and let's take inspiration from the previous generations. They're trying to celebrate. Everyone is trying to celebrate. And whenever a person is getting a stage to speak something, they're trying to prize the previous generations. It's just something like, uh, it's giving a kind of feeling that, are we are we in a state of toxicness, or are we in a state of okay, the things are almost ended. The Saturn in Pisces is the most the biggest emotional plane in the whole zodiac. So Saturn is about to you know come to this Pisces sign, and it's creating this kind of emotional plane, that it is activating this final emotional plane, because Pisces is the final sign. It is a is the most emotional plane, you can say, right? So, and also I'm observing people are very much um, into spirituality. Spirituality is very much activated, and that's what the Spices is doing. And one more thing I observed, um, you know of course this particular Pisces activation uh, is going to be done on 29th March, right? That we know. But uh, Rahu is already in Pisces, Saturn is about to enter, but the activation happened just, it's almost activated kind of energy we are we are getting. Even I observed, not only this music industry or any other movie industry or any other field, that people are feeling, people are having the feeling of that ending. It's another important thing is, see, I'm telling, things are ending. It's not for everything, right? The human race would continue, the things would continue, but it's a kind of, it's going to be, there is going to be a brand new beautiful world, but that is intended for only a few people, because Saturn has to complete the karma of so many people. It has to do that execution. It's just not that the declaration of fruits done in Aquarius, I think it's going to execute the task in Pisces. So it has to execute, and for the past 30 years, how this environmental changes occurred, the kind of environmental changes that we are seeing, that it's something like the beautiful world, the beautiful places are actually getting spoiled because of the human race, if you observe. And no one is taking care of mother nature, right? Of course a few people are taking care of, but it's not significant amount. That's why you're seeing a lot of problems. People are facing a lot of problems due to climate change, right? So that is the biggest problem. The climate change is the biggest problem. You can very clearly see this. And it is the summer is starting, it's almost started in India, and people are suffering now itself. The temperatures rise everywhere, generally, on a general scale. We may predict, even the environmental scientists predict, every 10 years 1 degree rise, right? That's a kind of common expectation, common projection. But what is happening? By year it is increasing 1 degree, 2 degrees. No, it's almost, they're predicting 1.5 to 2 degree rise they're expecting compared to the previous year. That's, it's a kind of dangerous projection. So every year if temperature rises by 2 degrees, then what would happen? Right? So definitely, and I wanted to tell one more thing, that is, um, you know it's about to enter, but this feeling of completion already, it's activated. And the ocean activation also happened. We're seeing a lot of news about ocean. And even it's not so, I'm not saying it's a kind of a problematic thing or a dangerous thing that happened, that Sunita Williams also landed in the ocean itself. Of course every astronaut, it's a better idea for them to land in the ocean sometimes, but some of the times you can see them landing on earthly surface also. Some a kind of barrel land, or they have their own methodologies for it. But I'm correlating this, you know with this. It just before Saturn moving into Pisces, it's almost activated. Even the solar eclipse is going to occur in Pisces. People would generally say the solar eclipse, the impact would be activated just before, some days of the solar eclipse itself. If uh, After solar eclipse, you would definitely see, even you would definitely see some drastic changes after 29th March. See, there is no other go at all, because Saturn has to complete his duty. And you're seeing uh, the kind of things happening around the world, right? So Saturn is kind of judge, and uh, he has to give, his declaration, his judgment. So he has to give on the present conditions only, right? He cannot give judgment for the things happened almost 2000 years back. No, right? Those people were gone already. 2000 years, so nobody lives for 2000 years. So Saturn has to give his judgment for the things happened the past 30 years, and he is about to enter. And the more we are detached from our ego, from our aggression, and the more we can drive our emotions very, in a stable manner, the more we feel better in this particular time. See, when you are just think, when you are calm and quiet, right? See, your emotions are, let us say your emotions are at zero, then how they are, you know distracted, or how they are seeing ups and downs. Observe that behavior and try to make them stable. Stabilize your emotions. That is the key thing. And and don't try to, you know uh, don't try to think on the things that are going to disturb your emotions. Even if you're thinking, think to a limit, right? You should limit them. When you're thinking about some disturbed areas of your life, let us say, then your thoughts may go a bit higher, your emotions may go a bit higher. Then try to control, right? Try to have a better control on your emotions during this time. You make your emotions decent enough that they are not even impacting, they're not going to impact your actions, right? See, we get thoughts, and our thoughts, our thoughts turn into actions. Before our thoughts, we have impulses in our brain, and you try to control those impulses even in during this time. And you what you talk, have control on that. What you talk to others, especially the people living with you, the people surrounding you, what you are talking to them. Have control on them. Also show love, right? Be kind to others. So, and one more important thing is, you're doing all this, but what about the people surrounding you? Surrounding you. You need to tell all these things to the people around you also. When you treat them with some love and respect, most of the times, yes, they would also, they can also control their emotions, and they can also feel better. And also during this time, better you are making, you're trying to put the people around you in their comfort zones to some extent. So when a person is in his comfort zone, yes, he feels a bit better only. His emotions would not rise, right? So that the mind and the heart, the control on the thoughts, control on the emotions, control on the thoughts in your brain, and control on the emotions generated in your heart. So how we are driving them? See, look at the world leaders, how they are behaving. Somewhere, right, they're out of control. Some people, some leaders especially, they are actually, I observed, they are only thinking about their ego, some of them, right? They're only thinking about their own ego. Because see, when a person feels great about him, what he does basically, what he actually he may try to impose his ideas or uh, his ideology on others, his plans on others, and he behaves out of ego and aggression. So this feeling of greatness is a kind of imagination, is a kind of imagination. Nobody is great in this world. Nobody is great. He can be a president, he can be a prime minister, he can be anybody. Nobody is great. Everybody is equal in this universe, in this nature. Because see, God created the five elements of nature, and those five elements of nature working equally for everybody. But of course, what we created out of them, out of the nature, and giving it only for rich people, that is a different thing. But by default, God created the nature, and the nature is acting similarly for everybody, right? The five elements are working similar to everybody, but based on their karma, you know the play of five elements would change, right? So let us say, if a person's karmic cycle is finished for this birth, then the air element acts differently for that particular person. The air element would stop working for him. That's why the airflow in his body would stop. So the five elements are basically controlling the people, the humans, right? So during this period, the upcoming period, better we drive our emotions and thoughts carefully. Better we have some spiritual thoughts, we do our duty, we do our work, right? And make the things beautiful with our efforts. So even the world leaders, if they are really careful about their people, right? Of course they need power, they need power, right? But at least some extent, if they are careful about, if they are careful about their own people, then the destruction can be avoided to some extent. Thanks for watching this video.